What if I told you success begins long before action even starts? Most people believe success begins when opportunity appears, when motivation arrives, or when life finally becomes easier. But success rarely begins there. It begins much earlier, in the quiet moments that most people ignore. It begins in the first minutes after waking up. Every morning, you wake up with something extremely valuable in your hands, even though you cannot see it. You wake up with direction not yet chosen. Your thoughts have not completely locked into the habits of the day. Your emotions have not fully attached themselves to pressure, noise, or expectations. This short period is powerful because your mind is open. The world moves fast. Notifications appear, messages arrive, problems start calling for attention. Most people immediately allow outside voices to take control. They wake up and instantly check their phones. They compare themselves to others. They think about stress before possibility. Without realizing it, they hand over control of their mental state before their own day even begins. But imagine starting differently. Imagine opening your eyes and deciding that the first influence on your mind will come from you. Before touching your phone, before looking for approval, before replaying worries, sit quietly for a few moments. Become aware of your breathing, not to escape life, but to prepare for it. Remind yourself that this morning is a beginning, not a continuation of yesterday. Then ask yourself a simple question. What kind of person am I choosing to become today? Not next year, not someday, today. The answer matters because your actions follow identity more than intention. If you begin your day thinking you are behind, overwhelmed, and powerless, your choices will reflect that. If you begin your day believing you are focused, capable, and prepared, your actions begin moving in a different direction. Your morning thoughts become instructions. Speak intentionally inside your mind. Tell yourself that today you move with purpose. Tell yourself that your attention is valuable. Tell yourself that challenges do not define your results. Tell yourself that growth is happening even if progress feels small. These are not empty words. Thoughts repeated with attention begin shaping expectation. Expectation changes behavior. Behavior repeated becomes your routine. Routine eventually becomes your life. This does not mean every day will feel easy. Some mornings will feel heavy. Some mornings motivation will not appear. Some mornings your old habits will try to return. Continue anyway, because success is not built by occasional inspiration. It is built by repeated direction. Your morning is more than a schedule. It is a signal to your brain. It tells you what matters. It teaches you what to notice. It influences what kind of energy you carry into the hours ahead. Wake up before the world tells you who you are. Give yourself a few moments of stillness. Choose your thoughts. Choose your focus. Choose the version of yourself you want to strengthen. And over time, you may realize that the life you wanted did not suddenly arrive one day. It quietly started on ordinary mornings when you decided to take control of the first moments after opening your eyes. Your mind is constantly receiving instructions whether you realize it or not. Every image you focus on, every emotion you repeat, every sentence you say to yourself becomes part of the internal environment that shapes your day. Most people never question this process. They simply wake up and allow thoughts to arrive automatically. They live inside mental noise and wonder why clarity feels difficult. But there is another way to begin. There is a state between deep sleep and full activity where your mind becomes quieter and more open. It is not about sleeping again, and it is not about forcing concentration. It is a calm, relaxed awareness where your attention becomes stronger because distractions become weaker. This is why the first minutes of the morning matter so much. When you wake up, do not rush immediately into movement. Stay still for a brief moment. Let your breathing settle. Feel the difference between reacting and choosing. Notice how quiet the mind can become when you stop feeding it endless information. Most people never experience this because they interrupt it too quickly. The moment they wake up, they search for stimulation. They reach for screens. They think about deadlines. They enter conversations in their head before the day even starts. Instead, allow yourself to remain calm. Sit comfortably and let your body relax. Release unnecessary tension from your shoulders, face, and hands. Imagine that each breath creates more space inside your thinking. You are not trying to stop thoughts completely. You are creating enough calm to decide which thoughts deserve attention. Now begin directing your focus. Picture yourself moving through the day with confidence and control. See yourself handling situations calmly. Imagine yourself completing important tasks with steady energy. Notice details. Imagine your posture. Imagine your decisions. Imagine yourself acting from certainty instead of pressure. Do not force perfect images. Allow them to become clear naturally. Then connect emotion to what you imagine. Feel appreciation before results appear. Feel confidence before evidence arrives. Feel calm before challenges begin. Emotion gives energy to thought. When thought and feeling move together, your mind begins accepting new patterns more easily. Many people spend years waiting to feel confident before taking action, but often the process works in reverse. You train the feeling first, and your actions begin changing afterward. This calm state each morning is not about escaping reality. It is about entering reality with intention instead of confusion. Your brain learns through repetition. If every morning begins with stress, your mind becomes practiced at stress. If every morning begins with calm direction, your mind becomes practiced at focus. The difference may seem small in one day, but repeated days become weeks. Repeated weeks become habits. Repeated habits become identity. You do not need hours. You do not need perfect conditions. You only need a few intentional minutes where your attention belongs to you. Because once your mind becomes calm, your choices become clearer. And when your choices become clearer, your future slowly begins changing from the inside out. Every day, people speak thousands of words, but the words that influence life the most are often the ones never spoken out loud. They are the quiet conversations happening inside the mind, the private statements repeated every morning, the hidden instructions that slowly become beliefs. Most people never notice these instructions. They wake up and immediately begin saying things like, I am tired, nothing changes, today will be stressful, I am behind, I do not have enough time, I never get opportunities. These thoughts may feel harmless because they seem normal, but repeated messages become familiar, and familiar messages begin directing behavior. Your mind listens more than you think. If you repeatedly tell yourself limitation, your attention starts searching for proof. If you repeatedly tell yourself possibility, your attention begins searching for opportunities. This is why your morning language matters. The first conversations of the day should not happen accidentally. Instead of allowing random thoughts to lead, begin giving your mind intentional commands, not unrealistic promises, not forced excitement, clear and powerful instructions. When you wake up, choose a few sentences and repeat them slowly with attention. Today I move with purpose. Today I notice opportunities. Today I remain calm under pressure. Today I finish what I begin. Today I become stronger through action. Do not rush through these statements. Allow each sentence to create an image inside your mind. Feel the meaning behind the words. Let your attention rest on them for a few moments. Words become stronger when emotion joins them. Think about the difference between someone saying, I can do this with doubt, and someone saying the same sentence with certainty. The words are identical, but the internal energy is completely different. Your brain responds not only to language, but to the feeling attached to language. That is why simply repeating phrases mechanically does little. You must connect with them. If you tell yourself that you are focused, sit like a focused person. If you tell yourself that you are confident, breathe like a confident person. If you tell yourself that success is possible, imagine yourself acting as if that possibility already deserves your effort. Your internal commands begin shaping your expectations. Expectations shape decisions. Decisions shape outcomes. And outcomes slowly become evidence that reinforces the identity you are building. This process is not instant. You may not wake up tomorrow and feel completely transformed. But transformation rarely announces itself. It appears quietly. A different decision, a calmer reaction, a stronger response, more consistency, more belief. Then one day you realize you are thinking differently without forcing it. That is the power of repeated mental direction. Do not allow the world to write your first thoughts every morning. Choose your own words. Choose your own commands. Choose what your mind practices, because your future listens carefully to what you repeat today. And the voice that shapes your life most is the one you hear inside yourself every single morning. Most people wait for proof before they believe in themselves. They wait for results before they feel successful. They wait for confidence before they act. But there is something powerful that many people overlook. Your mind responds strongly to what it repeatedly experiences internally, even before the outside world changes. That is why mental rehearsal can become one of the most powerful parts of your morning. Before your day begins, before challenges appear, before distractions take over, give yourself a few moments to create the day in your mind first. Do not think of this as wishful thinking. Think of it as preparation. Athletes prepare mentally before competition. Speakers imagine their presentation before stepping onto a stage. Performers rehearse before the audience arrives. They understand something important. The mind becomes stronger when it practices success before action begins. When you wake up, become still for a few moments, close your eyes if it helps. Now imagine your day unfolding in the best possible way through effort, focus, and calm decisions. See yourself waking up with energy. See yourself beginning important work without delay. See yourself speaking clearly. See yourself remaining calm when something unexpected happens. See yourself making choices that move your life forward. Create details. Imagine the environment. Imagine your posture. Imagine your expressions. Imagine the feeling of moving through the day with certainty. Do not imagine perfection. Imagine progress. Visualize yourself responding well even when things are difficult. Imagine staying patient. Imagine staying disciplined. Imagine recovering quickly when something does not go according to plan. Because success is not the absence of problems. Success is learning to move with direction despite them. As you imagine your day, allow yourself to feel the emotions connected to success. Feel appreciation, feel confidence, feel determination, feel quiet certainty. Emotion strengthens mental experience. Your mind remembers feelings more deeply than facts. Many people spend their mornings imagining failure without noticing. They picture mistakes, they expect stress, they replay fears, then they carry those expectations into real situations. Instead, choose your own mental images. Train your attention to recognize possibility. Teach yourself to expect growth. Your imagination is not there to escape reality. It is there to influence how you enter reality. The more often you mentally practice becoming focused, calm, and successful, the more natural those behaviors begin to feel. Over time, your actions stop feeling forced. You begin trusting yourself more. You become less controlled by fear. You stop waiting to feel ready. You simply begin moving. Every morning gives you an opportunity to rehearse the version of yourself you want to strengthen. Do not leave that opportunity unused. See your success before you chase it. Feel your progress before you measure it. Become familiar with the future you want. Because what becomes familiar inside the mind often becomes easier to create in the world around you. Most people believe emotions are reactions. They think emotions only appear after something happens. They say they will feel confident after success arrives. They will feel grateful after life improves. They will feel powerful after results become visible. But there is another way to look at it. Emotions can become a starting point instead of a destination. Your emotional state in the morning quietly influences how you think, what you notice, how you speak, and the actions you choose throughout the day. Think about two people waking up under the same conditions. One immediately thinks about problems, pressure, and everything missing from life. The body becomes tense, the mind becomes scattered. Small challenges feel larger than they are. The other person pauses and creates a different internal environment. They choose calm. They choose appreciation. They choose belief before evidence appears. The outside conditions may be identical. The experience becomes completely different. This is why your mornings should not only focus on thoughts, they should also focus on feelings. When you wake up, give yourself permission to experience the emotions you normally postpone. Feel appreciation before achievement. Feel peace before certainty. Feel confidence before recognition. Feel energy before momentum appears. This is not pretending, it is training your emotional direction. Sit quietly and imagine something meaningful to you. Imagine accomplishing a goal. Imagine becoming stronger. Imagine living with more purpose. But do not stop at the image. Ask yourself how that version of you feels. Does that person move with calm? Does that person trust the process? Does that person carry quiet confidence? Allow yourself to experience those emotions now instead of waiting. Your body and mind are constantly communicating. Thoughts influence feelings, feelings influence decisions, decisions influence outcomes, and outcomes reinforce identity. Many people unknowingly practice negative emotional patterns every morning. They practice frustration, they practice fear, they practice doubt, not because they choose those feelings intentionally, but because repetition turns them into habits. But emotions can be trained. You can train appreciation, you can train confidence, you can train focus, you can train resilience. At first, it may feel unusual because your mind prefers familiar patterns,